Hey, we got a lot to get through, so let's get into it. This is the Ironfly Syperfly. Not sure why they decided to name it that way. I think I should be invited to future naming conventions for any knife. This is an 8.5 overall, 3.5 inch cutting length on the blade, up against the Ontario Rat 1, up against the Buck 110. It's definitely not a small knife and will fit extra large hands such as mine. I do like the ergonomics on this thing. I believe this is 14C28N steel. I can't remember exactly. If I'm wrong, you can correct me here in the comments, no big deal. G-10 handles, like I said, fits well. Full 4-finger grip for my fat hand, and the forward finger choil here. Good thumb ramp and jimping on that ramp and the backspacer. I gotta say, the one thing I don't like about this G10 they got going, I do like the frag pattern. It looks nice, feels good. Just sounds weird. I know that's a nitpick. That's okay. The liners are nested in there. The steel liners are nested in there. Wire clip, which I got this knife on the secondary market in a trade, so I believe it was a little dinged up from some normal use. So I went and threw it in the tumbler, and that's how it turned out. So that's how it's going to stay for now. Here we go. We get a quick weight on this thing. 134 grams, 4.6 ounces. It's not a terribly heavy knife. It is a full-size knife. So yeah, it's not bad. Let's talk about the action real quick. It is smooth opening. I can get the Spidey flick on it using the Angry Eye thumb hole, right, and the front flipper. I'm not talented enough to get the front flipper from the top here, but it does work well, at least for me, in a normal fashion. The only one of my huge gripes about this knife is unlocking the blade here. And you can see I've got, now, granted, this may be my large hands and my large hands only, but getting my thumb inside of this liner lock to disengage just gets enough meat underneath that blade that it just does not want to close. And if I go lower, then the blade's just going to smash that corner of the blade into my thumb there. That's not going to feel very good. Very disappointed in that, because overall, I do like this blade. I do like the actions on it. The Wharncliffe, very flat style blade. Fantastic as a utility cutter. Let's see if this thing even showed up. Remotely sharp. Like I said, I got it on the secondary market. Okay, it's alright. It probably could use some help. Maybe we'll give it a little bit of help. Quick little stropping help, right? And because it's 14C, it'll strop back fairly quickly. So if you're out working somewhere and it seems to be getting a little dull on you, no big deal. You can pull out a strop quickly and make that situation a little bit better. Because, though, this liner lock has this issue, or I believe it's a design issue, realistically, because when I pull, it seems like there's enough access in there to get a thumb in there. Now, like I said, this could just be my giant man hands. With a glove on, it's darn near impossible. Even if I go a little bit lower, I can still get it at the very bottom there, which I guess that would be okay, given that I do have a glove on. Blade's still going to smash into your hand there. Front flipper, is almost there. Finger, yes. Never going to get a Spidey flick on this thing, but it's just so ridiculous to close it. This is not glove approved. It is not going to work with any kind of gloves on, working or otherwise. I do like everything on this knife. If they would just change this one little, okay, this might be just a modification for me, right? I guess I could take it to a grinder and grind off a little bit of metal here on the blade, but you know what? If I'm paying for a knife, it should just work. It should just work. The action overall is fantastic. It's got like a 8.6 action. If it were usable and I could actually disengage the liner lock, it would stay there. But I gotta ding it for not operating properly. So it's more like a 6.5. 6.5 action rating on this thing out of 10. 6.5 is not bad though, in my opinion anyway. The pocket clip, I don't mind wire pocket clips at all. This one works perfectly well. The tension is a little bit to be desired on here, but it's okay. Otherwise, I do also like the designers who, and manufacturers who choose to hide that lanyard pin back there. And because I do like to put lanyards on my knives sometimes, I appreciate that they took the time to put it there. They did try to make it ambidextrous. You can't flip around the pocket clip there to the show side if you need to. However, it's not any better with the left hand. It's still hanging up for me, and if I really let go low on that thing, it's going to smash me again in either the top of the thumb or somewhere else. But it's okay. It still works. All in all, it is a good knife. It's a good looking knife. It's designed well. The blade steel is great. The 14C28N takes back an edge very, very easily. Ergonomics are fantastic on this thing. It came relatively sharp, although I did get this thing on the secondary market, so I had to strop it a little bit. No big deal. That's one of the advantages to the 14C is it will strop back fairly quickly. The pocket clip is wire. It needs probably a little bit of tension. It is ambidextrous. However, this action is only a 6.5 because it is difficult to close on that liner. See you guys in the next one.